In this program, I'm going to key in miles, the number of miles, and the system is going to give me that number of miles in kilometers. That's what this program is going to do. Now, there'll be 5 steps in this. First, I'm going to create and run the server. That's step number 1. Step number 2, I'm going to go to any web page and connect to my server and then tell the server to load up this web page, m2k.html. That's step 2. Step number 3, I'm going to key data into this page, that is the number of miles. It will take that data and it will send it to this program, m2k.py. That's my Python program here. That will be going into step 4. In step 4, m2k.py will take the number of miles, calculate how many kilometers that equals, get the answer, and then it will generate another HTML web page and put the answer on that page. A 5-step process. Wow, let's get to work. I now have a command window on the screen. I'm in my Python 27 directory, 2.7 directory, and I key in Python -m cgi http server. And I hit enter. It's running off of port 8000. Everything is ready now. The server is now up and running. I go to my C drive Python directory, in this case 2.7, and I find my file m2k.html. Let's open that file up. Take a look at its contents. Here it is. Line 1, doc type is HTML. Metachar set is UTF-8. Header. Here's the head, here's the end head. In the middle is the title, which is miles to kilometers. That's what I'm doing. I'm changing miles to kilometers. Here's the body. And a little bit further on down is the end body tag. Now, these are critical. These 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. The next line is the form tag. Now, we say form, and form says yes. I want you to take some action when I click on the submit button. What action do you want me to do when I click on the submit button? Well, I want you to go to the cgi.bin directory. There you're going to find a file called m2k.py. I want you to attach to that file, and whatever input is given to your form, I want you to give it to this guy for processing. So, form, yes. The action I want you to take when we hit the submit button, hand your data over to this guy for processing. Okay, I'll do that, he says. Now, I want you to write miles to kilometers in a separate paragraph on the screen. Okay? All right, I'll do that. Next, here we go. These next 2 buttons are important. I want you to create, form, an input structure. Really? What type of input structure do you want me to create? Well, the type I want you to create is a text box. Okay, I'll do that. Oh, the name? I want you to give that text box a name. What will I call it? I know, miles. Size is 10. All right, I'll do that. Oh, one more thing, form. Could you give me another input object? What type of input object, he asks me. I want it to be a submit button. Okay, I'll give you a submit button. It's a button you click on to submit the data that you key in. All right. Oh, by the way, what's the name we're going to give that guy that submit button. I know, let's call him submit. That's a good name. Yeah, that's a good name. All right, I'll do that for you. Now, here's the end of the form tag. Here's the end of the body tag, because there was a beginning of the form tag. Here's the end of the form tag. All of this stuff is officially on the form. Here's the end of the body tag, end of the HTML tag. That's it. No more. Okay. I think I got this so far. I'd like to see what this looks like before we go any further. Okay, that's a good idea. Let me make sure I save this. Let's get a web page up on our screen. Let's see, let me put that over here. And here's my m2k.html. I'll click on this guy, drag him in here so you can see what he's going to look like. And bam, let me make it bigger. That's what it will look like. I'll click on the submit button and it'll do its job. Well, I don't want to do that yet because we haven't gone over the m2k.py file. That's what this looks like. This is the text box called miles, and this is the submit button called submit. So I had a text box, type text, that's this guy, and he's called miles. And this fellow over here is the submit button. He's what type? Submit button. And his name is Mr. Submit. What do you know? Okay, so much for this guy. Now, what do? Now we go to the next step, which is let's open up our m2k.py file and examine that guy. Because this fellow is going to take some number that we key in, and he's going to hand it to the m2k.py file, who will do the processing, converting to kilometers. Okay, let's get rid of him and get our other file.